Hello students, we are going to discuss test 19 today. The topic was semiconductor device and communication. In the first question, we want to find the number of atoms per unit cell in BCC lattice. Here, one atom will be at body center, and the contribution of atoms at corners will be 1 by 8, and there are 8 corners in a cube, so multiply by 8, that will be total 1 atom. So there will be 2 atoms in BCC lattice per cell. So option 2 is correct option. In question number 2, a full wave rectifier is used to convert N Hertz AC into DC. We want to find the number of pulses per second in rectified wave. That means we want to find the frequency of rectified wave. Here it is full wave rectifier. So if we draw the waveform of input and output, if this is the input circuit, then this will be the output circuit. So frequency is doubled. So frequency of output will be 2n. So option 3 is correct option. In question number 3, the input frequency of half wave rectifier is n Hertz. What will be the output frequency? In half wave rectifier, the frequency does not change. So frequency will be n Hertz only. So option 3 is correct option. In question number 4, in a half wave rectifier, output is taken across 90 ohm. So load resistance is 90 ohm. The resistance of diode in forward bias is 10 ohm. So input resistance is 10 ohm. We want to find the efficiency of the rectification. Efficiency is given by 0.406 into RL divided by Rn plus RL into 100%. So this will be 0.406 into 90 divided by 100 into 100. So efficiency will be approximately 36.54%. So option 4 is correct option. In question number 5, the reverse bias in a junction diode is changed from 5 volt to 15 volt. That means delta V is 10 volt. The current value changes from 38 microampere to 88 microampere. So delta I is 50 microampere. We want to find the resistance. The dynamic resistance R will be delta V by delta I, that is 10 divided by 5 into 10 power minus 5. So resistance will be 2 into 10 power 5 ohm. So option 3 is correct option. In question number 6, for the given circuit, we want to find the current flowing in it. The diode is ideal. Here this is the P junction and this is the N junction. The potential at P junction is less than potential at N junction. So this diode will be reverse biased. In the reverse bias, it will act as open circuit, so there will not be any current in the circuit. So option 4 is correct option. In question number 7, a potential barrier of 0.5 volt exists across a PN junction. The width of depletion region is 10 power minus 6 meter. We want to find the intensity of electric field. Electric field is given by V by D. The potential difference is 0.5 volt and the width of depletion region is 10 power minus 6. So electric field will be 5 into 10 power 5 volt per meter. So option 2 is correct option. In question number 8, for intrinsic germanium, the charge carrier density is 2.4 into 10 power 19 per meter cube. The mobility of electrons is 0.39 meter square per volt second and mobility of holes is 0.19 meter square per volt second. We want to find the conductivity. The total conductivity is equals to conductivity due to electrons plus conductivity due to holes. This will be mu E n E into E plus mu H and H into charge on hole is same E. But for intrinsic conductor, NH is equals to Ni is equals to Ne. So this will give us Ni into E into mu E plus mu H. Put the values. Ni is 2.4 into 10 power 19. E is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 and mu E plus mu H will be 0.58. Simplify this, we will get sigma T is equals to 2.22 7 meter inverse. So option 3 is correct option. In question number 9, for a PN junction diode, the breakdown voltage is 28 volt and the external voltage applied in reverse bias is 40 volt. We want to find the current through it. As this external voltage is greater than breakdown voltage, the current flowing through it will be infinite. So option 2 is correct option. In question number 10, in a PNP transistor, the collector current is 10 milliampere and 90% of the holes reach the collector. We want to find the emitter current. Here it is given that 90% of holes reach to collector. So IC is equals to 0.9 of IE. So emitter current will be 10 milliampere divided by 0.9. So this will be approximately 11 milliampere. So option 3 is correct option. In question number 12, for common emitter mode of transistor, the base emitter voltage is changed by 20 millivolt. So delta VBE is 20 millivolt. Due to this, the change in collector current delta IC is 25 milliampere. We want to find the transconductance. The transconductance is given by delta IC divided by delta VBE, that is output current divided by input voltage. This is 25 milliampere upon 20 millivolt. This milli will get cancelled out, so transconductance will be 1.25 ohm inverse. So option 1 is correct option. In question number 13, a common emitter transistor amplifier has a current gain alpha of 50. The load resistance is 4K, that is 4000 ohm, and input resistance is 500 ohm. We want to find the voltage gain. The voltage gain beta is equals to alpha into RL by Rn. So 50 into 4000 divided by 500. This will give us the answer 400. So option 4 is correct option. In question number 14, the electrical conductivity of a semiconductor increases when electromagnetic radiation of wavelength shorter than 2480 nanometer is incident. We want to find the band gap in electron volt. The energy gap will be hc by lambda, and in electron volt it will be hc by lambda into E. Put the values. H will be 6.6 into 10 power minus 34 into 3 into 10 power 8 divided by lambda is 2480 into 10 power minus 9 into E 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. Simplify this, we'll get approximate answer 0.5 electron volt. So option 2 is correct option. In question number 15, for a transistor amplifier, beta is 62, the load resistance is 5000 ohm, and input resistance is 500 ohm. We want to find the power amplification. The power gain is given by beta square RL by Rn. So that will be 62 square into 5000 divided by 500. Simplify this, we'll get answer 38,440. So option 3 is correct option.